Steve. How are you today?
I'm good, Kathy. How are you?
Calling for another crazy kind of question for you, but I'm completely down, and it says I need to change my waist toner, and how's that happen? And I don't even know what's going on.
Well, most likely on your display screen down at the bottom there was a little yellow triangle that might have shown up, and what that's indicating is it wants you to touch that. It's like attention, look at me, touch that little yellow triangle. If it would be on this machine, you would see a display pop up that would say waist toner near full or almost full, and at that point you need to make sure you either order a waist toner box
Oh, sure.
or prepare for it to stop when it's all the way full. If that happens, like in your case, when it's all the way full, you need to empty it so you can keep running. The easiest way to do that would be to open the front door of the copier.
Great, that's what I was going to ask you.
If you open the front door, there's usually instructions on the door. And if there's not instructions on the door, it's usually the same on all of them. There's a black box there in the middle that you need to push on the blue tabs left and right, and that box will pull forward, and you take that waist toner box out. Now there's a variety of different waist toner boxes, but they are all very similar. There's an opening at least on one end. In some cases there's openings on several ends, all the way across, that toner could come out of, but you don't want to dump it out of those. You just want to dump it out of one.
Okay.
If you'd like to see others, I could show you that at a later.
Oh yeah, would love to.
Okay. Do you want me to show you those now or at a later time?
No, you show me how to dump that. Look, check
Okay.
out the colors.
Oh yes, this is a color copier printer, and once all of those colors mix, it's a muddy brown. It's kind of ugly. So, and if you can see this little window here with the 4 screws, when that fills up with toner, you won't be able to see through it, and that's what tells the machine that it's all the way full and it needs to be emptied or changed.
Okay.
But basically what you would do is you would take it out of the machine as we just did and identify the biggest hole or the opening on the one end and put that end down inside a trash can and turn it over and empty that toner out. And it can gush out quite a bit, but the idea is keep that toner down inside the trash can. And once you get most of it, or all of it, out of the trash can, you still need to clear that little plastic window that I was referring to. So this one wasn't full to start with, but the idea is once it's empty, you lay it on its back and you turn it upside down a little bit and you snap on this little plastic window to get any toner that might be in that window to drop back inside the machine so the sensors can look through the toner hole and see that there's no toner in there. When you hold it back right side up, you might still see some toner in the bottom there, which is normally okay as long as it doesn't fill up. If it's too full, it'll tell you that it needs to be changed.
Okay.
Anyway, once you're done with that, all you need to do is put the cartridge back in the machine and push it in. And then it's latched. Close the door, the machine should run, come back to life, and everything will be good.
Perfect. So can you show me some of those other examples you were talking about?
This is 2 different waist toner cartridges. This one, as you note, has a bunch of different foam openings in it. This is a brand new one, and this is that little window that I was referring to earlier. It's completely empty. And just like the other cartridge that I showed you, once you empty the toner out of it, you need to empty that window, which I'll show you again here in a moment. But what I would suggest before you empty this one, if you notice there's a big hole here.
Oh, right.
That's what I would dump it out of. But the problem is you have a bunch of other foam holes there that toner could come out of. I would suggest you put a tissue in each one of these holes, kind of like this, so that toner doesn't come gushing out of those holes when you're trying to empty it.
Oh yeah, been there. That's such a mess.
It can be, but if you're careful, you can do this.
That's a great
with
idea.
little or no mess.
I would have never thought of doing that.
Did you notice there's some holes up on top here, some small ones?
Yep.
You might want to go ahead and even stick something in those because it'd be just too easy for toner to come out when you don't want it to come out.
And then you empty and you just take those out and throw them away.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
At this point you might fill those other 2, but you would do the same thing in your trash can, put it down inside the trash can, and empty that toner out of this largest hole. Get as much of that toner to come out as you can possibly get to come out. And once you get the toner empty out of the cartridge, you need to leave those tissues in, but you need to empty this little plastic window still.
Just like you did before when you tapped on it.
Just like the other one. I would turn it close to upside down or upside down, and again, make sure you leave those tissues in so the toner can't come out. And I always suggest you do it over top of the trash can and tap on that window and try to get the toner to drop back inside. Turn it up again, tap on it, lay it flat, and do that several times until the toner is out of this window and it's clear again. Then throw away your tissues with the waste toner in the trash can, and you would be good to go once you put that back inside the machine.
Awesome.
Did you know that printers also have waste toner boxes in them? Actual desktop printers?
Wow.
I can show you how that works.
Great.
This printer has a waste toner box right here in the center. You have to turn this knob, and it gives you those instructions on the door as well on changing the waste toner box. But you can also empty it, and it's much quicker at times just to empty it rather than wait for a waste toner box. You turn this knob to the left, 9 o'clock, grab hold of these blue handles and pull the waste toner box
Great.
out. Once the waste toner box is out, you really can't empty it until you turn this blue knob back to 12 o'clock. Then it opens that up so you can empty it. And if you'll notice, this also has a clear window on this end.
Oh yeah, and that one's got a bunch of stuff in it.
This one's not all the way full, but once that's full, it'll stop the machine.
When will you start getting that little notice? Or
When it's almost full. You'll be
Okay.
able to run for a while, but it
Okay.
will be limited.
so we have to pay attention to the little triangle,
Yellow triangle usually.
and then we won't have this disaster.
There you go.
Awesome.
And this one, the same thing. You can put it down inside the trash can and turn it over, and the toner will dump out of it into the bottom of the trash can.
But you didn't have any holes you had to plug on that one.
This one does not have any holes that you need to plug, which makes it, frankly, a little bit easier. And then the toner will stay down inside. That's why you keep it as low in the trash can as you can, because as you can see, it's kind of a muddy brown cloud.
It is.
But that is normal. That's when you mix all the colors together, it makes that muddy brown color instead of just black. This is a color printer. Most color devices have waste toner boxes. Actually, all of them do. Some black and white machines do as well.
Good to know.
Once you have that empty, the ideal situation would be to turn this knob back to 9 o'clock so that it's closed and you don't have toner inadvertently come out. And then the same thing with the little window. Make sure the toner in the window goes back inside the machine or the cartridge. And then if you look at the window, you can see through it.
Yep, got it.
And this toner cartridge is as good as new when you put it back in the machine and turn that knob back to 12 o'clock. All good.
Thanks for all you do, Steve.
No problem. You have a great day.
You too, thanks.